shit.
All right, we are here. We are rolling. We are in the new year. We are gonna survive and
Hopefully have more occasions to wear makeup.
steal money from men. I'm Nikki. We are trying to do makeup looks and we are gonna see how it goes. Raven here is probably gonna have a nice little cut and it's gonna be cornered in her eye. So it's gonna be like a black, green, I don't know, I feel like it's like almost like a little bit of like a Disney villain look. So that's what we're gonna kind of go with. So we're gonna start. Here we have the MAC Prep and Prime. We're actually gonna use Alana. Shout out to Andrea for giving me this card. We're gonna use Alana to dry Raven's face. One thing that I'm noticing about this prime though, I have to fan her face entirely too long for it to like...
It is wet.
It's wet. It's real wet.
2 hours later.
Another thing that I also learned is that I think there's a reason why people do eyeshadow first. Too much fallout, it was way too sparkly, so I'm gonna try doing eyes first. So this is the Milani double-sided regular pencil. This is called eyeliner. An eyeliner pencil. What I also like is that it has a smudging side. So the smudging side really helps it out too. So what you're trying to do here, which I think I fucked up, is that you're trying to follow the bottom line, the bottom lash line up. This is also a plus if you don't do foundation first, because then you could just get rid of the liner that you always mess up. So I feel like also when you're adding in the liner here, it can be like not perfect because you are smudging it out a bit. My goal is to keep this definition. Don't know if that's actually gonna happen by the end, but what I did was just go in with that like squishy side of the Milani pen, but now I'm gonna go in with a little bit of eyeshadow just to kind of set it and then make a more like smoky dramatic look. So we're using this one. It looks like a little bit brown, but it's actually like a very dark black. So we're using this from the Pat McGrath palette. So and we're also going to be using the actual green from this one. So we have this angled brush that I'm going to add in the little bit of black shadow on top of the already defined black liner that's around her eye. Again, I'm trying to keep just a little bit of the actual definition, so that way it's like holding all the color inside of that socket area.
What's your inspiration for this look?
The inspiration for this look is making it up on the fly. All right, we are using this small little fluffy brush, and I don't know where any of my brushes are from, so don't ask. So I'm going with the shadow that's on top of the liner now and just doing a slight circular motion to kind of blend and diffuse what I already have going on. If you also have a little bit of shadow or any kind of fallout in the socket, it's totally fine because you're gonna go in and cut, so it's gonna get cleaned up anyways. This is more for like the actual liner and going from liner out, not like deeper in the eye. Oh, you know what? We can also talk about how shitty fucking New Year's was yesterday. I don't know if it was the YouTube that we were watching that was lagging, but we watched like the last 2 minutes of the show. And the ball like didn't drop. So we were stuck in 2020 for like another 18 seconds, and those 18 seconds cost a lot. So that wasn't fun. This obviously I think looks very light here, but it's a little bit darker in person. I think I'm gonna go with that color and then just kind of diffuse that area just a little bit, and then maybe add a little bit more black in. So I'm gonna pack the brown with this one and then go back and diffuse it with the one that I was using with the black. And I'm actually probably just gonna do it on top. So the brown I feel like is just diffusing the black shadow just a bit. So that way it's just a little bit more transitioned. Cut crease time. I'm going in with this just to lay and pack the concealer down. We are also doing, for the concealer, Miss Lovely Rihanna. This is 140. It's like perfect for Raven. I actually bought it when I first started dabbling into Fenty Beauty. It was way too late because I bought it online like an idiot. We pack concealer with this. These little things are great to pack the concealer like in a smaller area, but even if you have like a thin sponge or even like a little bit of like a non-used fluffier brush but like with harder bristles, something like this, because the bristles get it in nice. Never apply with just straight on unless you're feeling real bold. It just gives you no control, that's why. So you always want to do it on the bottom first and just kind of like lay the product down. You want to be as close to your eyelash line. And then what I'm going to have Raven do is open up her eye but look up. And look up. Good. And hold it there for like 2 or 3 seconds and then look down and close. So it brought it right to the point. Oh, so pretty. It brought it right to the point where you're gonna need it. So like that way it doesn't cut up too high and then it looks awkward, because you can totally change the dimension of your eye if you cut crease too high. So now I'm gonna go in with a little bit more product. So we decided to prompt some questions. We're going on my Instagram now. My manager is on my phone and gonna post some open-ended questions or things for you guys to ask me so we could talk about it in a video. Do you guys like my sweatshirt too? This is the best sweatshirt I've ever bought.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
It was a Facebook targeted ad, but I don't care.
We love Christmas.
We love Christmas.
Instagram light mode versus dark mode.
Light mode versus dark mode. Dark mode all the way. All my text. I was light mode for a while and then I went to the dark side.
If you have blue eyes, your eyes are very sensitive. Everyone makes fun of me, but if you have blue eyes, you know.
One time I asked Raven, since she has blue eyes, if she saw differently, but then I was like, how would you know? She's only ever had blue eyes.
I don't think that we see differently, but
If
if
the cut is done, it's alright. Obviously it has to be cleaned up. I see you looking at it like that. I'm gonna go in with this green right here. I've never done black, I've never done green before. So again, we're learning together. So usually when I go to like pack eyeshadow on my eyelid, I do it with my finger, but I feel like because it's Raven's face, I feel like I need a brush. So I'm going to try packing it with this brush. Again, the harder the bristles, the more it's going to. You saw that? Yeah. The model's requesting water, no ice, 3 lemons.
straw, please. Thank you.
I always think it's good to also pack like right in the middle, because that's what your eye gets drawn to anyways. Or if you want to make different shadows, like definitely pack your brightest color that you want to like stand out definitely in the middle, and then diffuse it with other colors on the side. Stay hydrated all 2021. So off camera we did Raven's right eye, so that's complete. We're getting into our foundation now. So we're using Fenty Beauty 185. It's a little bit dark for Raven's neck, but it actually works really nice with her skin. I'm gonna apply it first with this type of brush, hard ass bristles, and then from there I go in and pack it with something that's just like a little bit more spongy. I think it comes across like pretty nice. I always apply it to my hand first, never to the face directly. I just think you have no control if you apply it straight to the face. And also sometimes like when you first get the foundation out, sometimes there's like a little bit more pigment in the beginning, so it kind of just like helps out with that too. So we did get a few questions from a few people that were really good. One of the first questions that we got was, when did I get into makeup? And I feel like I have to preface it with when I actually got introduced to makeup was actually by my sister. We were going out to dinner and she was like, I'm gonna put eyeliner on you. So she put eyeliner just on my bottom line, literally not even any type of mascara, and I was like, whoa, like the dimensions of my face literally changed, and I was like, I look hot. So then I was like, this is cool. But I would say I started getting like into makeup a little bit in middle school, but definitely into put your face down a little bit. Definitely into high school, I started to play with like actual looks and like liquid eyeliner and things like that.
Who are your favorite makeup influencers?
Makeup
inspire you?
Influencers. That's a good one. Definitely Nikki_makeup, Nikki Tutorials, Priscilla Ono, of course.
What do you look for in a makeup influencer? Like, what draws you to them?
Definitely different makeup artists using different types of people. Because if you use the same model, the same facial structure, like, what good are you? Definitely with a makeup influencer, I'm looking for them to do things with different people. And even different looks. Like, don't think it crazy, but like I don't always want a soft glam. I want something different and fun. So I used 2 different types of like very pigmented glitter. It's really just about packing the color because it packs on nicely, but you want it for a more dramatic look. Like you have to do a few layers with it. So you want to make it definitely pop. All the colors are on the same palette, and it's Pat McGrath. Her palette is so worth investing into because they have really great stuff.
If you could only buy from 3 makeup brands, which would they be and why?
I would definitely do Pat McGrath for my eyeshadow, but I would try to do like a little bit more of like Milk, because they have like a little bit more cleaner products, but they still come out really nicely. Oh, Fenty. Yeah, for sure Fenty.
How do you feel about people using concealer as foundation?
Love it. I'm only going full Fenty on Raven's face right now because why not?
It's also a dramatic look.
It's dramatic, so it like needs that. But I think for your everyday, I think concealer takes enough, where if you only have a few problem areas, I think it's really enough, I guess you could say. Okay, so we applied the makeup, the actual foundation, with the bristle brush. It looks really nice and smooth, but like even like a little bit close, you still want to go in and like pat it up a bit. So that's what I'm gonna do now. The brush applies it really well onto the skin, but the sponge kind of makes it a little bit more pushed into your skin, so that way it's not like that the foundation's cakey at all, but I think it just kind of like adds it in to be a little bit more skin textured. Off camera we did Raven's foundation, and then I went in with the Charlotte Tilbury Skin Perfecting Micro Powder in the #1. So this is one of my favorite setting powder. I don't do anything loose. I don't do anything white anymore. I think it just like cleans up pores really nicely. You can see I've obviously done damage in it, but it's lasted me a long time. I would say what, we went to the mall.
You've
like
had that for like 2
years at least. So I went in with just like a nice little fluffy brush, and what I like about doing it with the fluffy brush, instead of literally baking your entire face, it gives you a little bit more control. So we went in with the Too Faced bronzer, which I've also had for life. You can see we have a lot of dimension. It's very drastic, because the look is drastic. So then if you look on this side, there's none. This side contoured, this side none. We are contouring. I actually really like this NYX powder. It's the Highlight and Contour Pro palette. I find that these colors is a little bit more cool toned contour, but I feel like anything else that I've ever used is very orangey and I hate it. So that's why I like this. So I'm going in with kind of these two. Oh my god, your makeup looks fucking fire. So you want to kind of stay at the perimeter of the face. Don't go too deep into her brow, or her forehead rather, only because then you literally change the dimensions of your face, which is the hard part about makeup and doing it on someone else. So you live and you learn. Another thing that we got a good question on was New Year's resolutions for 2021. And basically my generic answer is that I think that the way we have to live right now, it's very hard to just even survive. So just take things day by day, set little goals for each day, and those little goals become bigger goals. For the bronzer, I also like to go in and kind of diffuse the contour like a little bit. Like, I know it doesn't make sense, but because the line is harsh, I think that just kind of helps like make it look a little bit more subtle. So you have to be careful because you don't want to pull it down too much. The white's like just like a little pretty shimmery, so I'm gonna try to add that into Raven's inner corner. And let's see how it goes. Okay, so back at it. We had to go off camera just for like a hot sec, but what I did was kind of like extend the black all the way through. I put the Milani on the waterline and smudged it a bit, and then followed it up with like a little bit of the black path, little square thing that we had. And then now I'm going with just a little bit of concealer just to kind of clean up some of that fallout. So for Raven's brows, we're going in with Milk. It's the Kush Fiber Brow Gel in Grinds. Grind, baby. So now we have Raven's completed eyebrow. Non-completed eyebrow. Wow, your eyes look phenomenal. Also, when you go in to do your eyebrows, always wipe off the excess because otherwise, too much too quick. For mascara, we are going in with the Pat McGrath new mascara, the Dark Star. The Dark Star mascara. Hold on. And it has this like little bit of like a curvature. I'm gonna go in now with the Milani and go on top just to kind of like darken everything up.
Sorry, that's just what
I know. For the highlight, I'm not going to use a typical highlighter. I'm actually going to use, you can't tell how sparkly it is, but this like plain white. We're going in with this fluffy little guy. I also hold it so that way it becomes packed. Now we're going in this Laura Geller blush. It's called Baked Blush and Brighten Pink Grapefruit. So we finished the look. It's really dramatic. I think we are mermaid Ursula vibes.
I'm getting Black Swan vibes now.
Yeah, little Black Swan
With the
too. We hope you liked it. If you have any feedback, we'd love to hear. Anything you guys want us to talk about in maybe future videos, different things you'd rather see me and Raven doing besides makeup.
Different looks.
Different looks. Really anything. But if you've watched this long, thank you for watching. And we'll be back.